Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to 30 Days of Sketches. Now this sketch right here was created by Rachel Usher. It has lots of fun, colorful things. Now I had visions and dreams of doing something wild with mixed media, but I'm not. I'm just going to use some paper and I'm going to be scrapbooking these photos of Gaston on a parade in Disney. So let's see what I can do. Alright guys, so I'm starting with a bunch of 6x8 papers and I'm just going to cut them down to about 2 inches. I'm just using my trimmer off to the side here, and I am not going to have as many stripes on my layout as is on the sketch. Like I said, I was thinking about stenciling and mixed media and doing all kinds of fun things on here, but it didn't happen. I decided to go this way and I am happy with the way my layout turned out. So I am just ripping these off and I am going to leave just a slight little bit of a white border around the edges of my layout. And what that's going to do is give me a little bit of something that is going to contain my page. Now there are some times where I feel like my layouts are just kind of getting ready to explosion off the page, and this was already one of them. Even me just thinking about putting these strips of paper down, I was feeling like they were gonna just keep on, you know, all the little stripies were just gonna explosion off the page. So I am going to fix that by having a border around the layout. So also in the sketch, it goes from a thicker piece of paper that spans across the layout to a thinner piece. However, I don't do that either. I am going to grab a piece of khaki cardstock and I'm going to paper tear and place that across the page. And I like the fact that I have this khaki over top of the white paper. I think it is a good contrast, and in this case it feels like another color instead of a neutral. So we're going to go ahead and put that down, and then see, you would never even know that the papers underneath of here are not one big long continuous strip of paper, because that khaki cardstock is camouflaging it. So these photos are of Gaston on a horse, and if you have had the privilege of seeing Gaston in Walt Disney World, he acts just like the dude in the cartoon. It's kind of hilarious actually. So I am going to mat these on white. Just like my layout is kind of matted on white, my photos are going to be matted as well. And then my photos are also larger than what calls for in the sketch, but that is because I did not want to trim these down. I could have trimmed them down so you just saw Gaston, but honestly I needed the horse in there too, because the horse was, you know, horse is better looking, right? So that little guy needed to be in there. Now, I am not exactly sure what I'm doing now. At this point, I don't have any clear direction. I don't have any more thoughts in my head about what I need to make happen to get this layout finished. I am kind of floundering right here, kind of staring at the layout, staring at my supplies, and just hoping that something will jump out at me. And that happens, I think, to us all at least once in a while, right? Where you're just not exactly sure where to go to next. Even if you have a sketch, even if you have a layout that you might be scrapjacking, even if you have a challenge that you have to do, sometimes we look at our layouts while we're in the middle of them and we're just like, what in the world do I do now? So, yeah, that's me trying to figure out what in the heck I do now. Eventually I figure it out, and instead of cutting out a hexagon and placing my title on it, what I'm going to do is grab a piece of coordinating paper, and it kind of feels that my layout goes from light to dark, and I want to kind of bring that darkness and heaviness that's on the right hand side of the layout over to the left hand side of the layout. And I do that by using this black and white polka dot paper, and I'm going to put it over here and just try to figure out where I want it to go. So like I said, instead of a hexagon, I have this large rectangle. I'm going to pull out this khaki sticker right here, and it's going to go over top of the photo and over top of that polka dot paper. And what this is doing is it's kind of like making this into a cohesive unit. Like it should be there. It's not like, oh, this is an extra sheet of paper thrown on here. It makes it feel like it is part of the design. So I put a tag down, and you know we can't have naked tag holes. So I grabbed some red and white baker's twine. I'm going to go ahead and tie that into a bow. And then I'm going to drop a little bit of Nouveau Deluxe adhesive down in the tag hole, and my bow will be down there, and it'll be nice and stuck down, and there is no naked tag holes. Now I did sit here and think maybe I should make this black and white, but I felt like I needed an extra little punch of red on this layout. So that bow is giving me a little bit of a punch, but it's not giving me a huge punch. So I am going to go to the letter stickers, and I'm going to find some red ones to make my title. And that is going to give me that little extra pop of red that I want it to have. So these are the Chamel letter stickers from Field Trip, maybe, I want to say. I think it's Field Trip. I think so. If it's not, I'm sorry, but obviously I picked them up a Tuesday morning. They have blue on one side and red on the other, and I actually separated them so my reds were all together and my blues were all together. Next, I'm going to grab some enamel dots from the Paper Studio. Now, these enamel dots are probably a little bit larger than most enamel dots out there, but I kind of like it. Sometimes I really want teeny enamel dots, and sometimes I want that little bop of color there, and that is what it's giving me. So there is the layout, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining me for another day in 30 days of sketches, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.